Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. Thank you for being patient with me. You know, I normally do my Wednesday live Q&A, 5 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, but I got an email that said I might be eligible for some student loan forgiveness outside of what Joe Byron's trying to do. And so I need to get on a webinar to see what I'm eligible for and how I can get it, baby. I just could not. So unfortunately, I am a bit delayed into my 7 o'clock hour, which I do not like because I like to be off at 7 o'clock. But I am a woman of my word. And because I am a woman of my word, I am here to deliver our weekly live Q&A. If you are new to my page, I would like to reintroduce myself to everyone and introduce myself to you. My name is Alison. I'm a certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with singles in order to help them to find the love and commitment that they deserve. I have a bachelor's degree in education. I have a master's degree in counseling. I have a master's degree extension in mental health counseling. And this is what I have done for the last 10 years. And so we are here together. Now, in order to work with me, you got to pay the price, right? You got to pay the piper. But in order to serve my community, every Wednesday I do this live Q&A so that folks who are either cheap or not in a position to invest in themselves can get some kind of professional guidance to help them in this thing that we call life and love, okay? Again, if you are new, I want you to introduce yourself to me. Let me know who you are and where you are from so that I can welcome you appropriately. Thank you for the happy belated birthday shout outs. I appreciate that from Slack, from Terrell. I appreciate all of you. Welcome, Kim B. Thank you. Happy belated birthday from her. Hello, Tiandra. How are you? I see Nini's in the building. Ashley is here. Sincerely, Ty. How are you? T. Desi. I appreciate you. Carla. Miss A. Hilton, thank you for joining. Bella Poet and everyone else who was on here with us. Thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate you. Thank you, Jay, for the happy belated birthday shouts. All right, Carla is from Westchester. All right, girl, you from Westchester. You right there. Angela is from VA. Welcome. Hello, new mommy muffin. Yes, new mommy muffin. Thank you. Thank you. It is a journey. Not really new as a follow, but first time live from New Jersey. Welcome, Nay. Thank you. Lindsay says, have been on for a while, but busy. But Reese Riley, how are you? Love muffins. All right. So let us, and Josie's from California. Josie's from Florida. Florida, how are you, boo? My dad is in Florida. I'm a little worried. He says he'll be all right. And thank you, Culinary Chrissy, for purchasing a badge. All right, let us get into the Q&A. First, let's explain how it works for those who are new. So I do this live every Wednesday around 5, 6. Today ends up being 7, all right? Hello, Big Val from El Paso, Texas. Me and my husband thinking about moving to Houston. Give me some insight. DM me. Let me know what your thoughts are, okay? Nicole from SoCal. So this is the story. I post it every Tuesday around 4, 5, 6 p.m. And then on Wednesday is when I'm able to then scroll up and see all of the questions that have been dropped in the box. It is imperative that the questions are put in the box. Do not DM me because people DM me all day long and a lot of them are memes and jokes. And so I'm not going to see your question. I need organization, right? So I need you to put the question in the box and I first answer the questions from my subscribers. So those who are subscribed to my page is only $4.99. They get exclusive content. They get morning gems, afternoon, evening, sometimes late night in the dark because the baby's sleeping. Gems, like they get all the exclusive content. I answer their questions first. And then I get to everybody else, if I get to everybody else in the hour that I have allotted. All right. So make sure that you go ahead and subscribe. You can do that by clicking my name or my little picture right there. Right there. And then you could go ahead and do that. All right. So if you didn't see the question, that means that it was already up for 24 hours, sister girl. Gotta get you Tuesday. And if you are on my free VIP list, if you click the link in my bio, scroll all the way to the bottom, I text everybody on the list. I have 2,500 people on the list. I text them and say, hey, this is your last opportunity. Click the link right here and put your question in the box. So no excuses, girlfriend. All right. Let's get to it. Also, please make sure that your question fits in the box. Work it out, right? If you need more than just that, that means you need a session. So you need to book one and it'll be reopened on in October. Okay? Very good. Let us get into it. Should I deal with someone who doesn't communicate the way I desire? Oh, you said you got the text, but there was no story? Yeah, that means it expired already by the time you went to it. Sorry, girlfriend. It's there for 24 hours all the time. Should I deal with someone who doesn't communicate the way I desire? Okay, so every week I'm going to say the same thing because it's so imperative, okay? You have to decide what your non-negotiables are. The non-negotiables, what are they? They are a list of behaviors and traits that your potential partner, your current partner must seemingly have in order for you to continue to date them. Okay? So that means that you, based on your morals, your values, your experience, you have to decide what your non-negotiables are. Your non-negotiables may not be mine, right? So I have my list of non-negotiables. I've posted them. They're on my page. I should repost them. I should keep putting them up and up and up of what mine were. Don't copy mine. I'm just saying, right? Just to give you an idea. So I put like family-oriented or hardworking, affectionate. Those are things that are imperative to me. I did not put greatest communicator, right? That was not something that was the most important stuff for me. I figured I could work around that, right? I say all that to say you have to decide what your non-negotiables are. And if your 5 to 6 most important behaviors and traits include someone who's an excellent communicator, then you've already answered your own question. If you've decided that there are other things that are more important and you're willing to work on with this person or struggle with for the remainder of your life, I'm gonna be honest, because it may not work out, right? Like you may not be able to get him to where you want him to be in that particular area, then you have to decide whether or not that's a deal breaker for you. Many people don't have it as a deal breaker. Many people do. So I cannot dictate to you if you should end this situationship, dating, boyfriend, whatever, because he doesn't communicate in the way that you like. I can't dictate that for you. You have to decide for yourself, is that a deal breaker? And you also should be making a list, because what's going to happen is that everybody that you date, you're going to find a problem. You're going to say, well, that's another deal breaker. Never mind. I'm breaking up with him. That's another. No, you need to have this list in advance. That way you're not destroying your relationships each and every time because you're nitpicking. And I had a call with a client one time, and he, yes, you heard me right. Nitpicking, being, hey, Shaki, I miss you. I haven't seen you in a long time. Nitpicking and being ridiculous. And I told him that, right? Like, yes, you have your list of non-negotiables. Yes, I just said I can't dictate what they are to you, but we need to make sure that they're reasonable, right? That they are in alignment with who you are and how you present. You're asking for things for people that you can never deliver on or you can't compliment. That's impractical, right? So you come up with your list, make sure it's realistic, and then you measure people against that list. All right? And I hope that answers your question clearly enough. Next question. Met a guy online 3 weeks ago. We live 4 hours apart. How long should it take to go on a date? All right. Met a guy online 3 weeks ago. We live 4 hours apart. How long should it take to go on a date? So let me first tell you that I think that 4 hours is too much of a distance and I wouldn't even invest in this. I just wouldn't. 4 hours to me is a long distance relationship, and I do not believe in, based on my own personal experience, starting long distance relationships. Now, what do I mean by starting? What I mean is if you're dating someone who's relatively close to you, right? About an hour or less, and you guys are having a really solid relationship, things are going in the right direction, and they have an opportunity to move to another state so that they can work, so they can further their career, right? Or they enter into the military. I don't know how old you guys are, who's joining the military at this point in their lives, but you get the point, right? Like there's an opportunity that arises after we're together and we've already established a solid relationship, then I don't mind the long distance. We will work it out, right? And I talk a lot about like what that looks like and how to work it out. That's not your question though, right? Your question is, y'all just met and you are 4 hours away. I wouldn't even sign up to start dating someone that's long distance. 4 hours is long distance. I'm in New York. 4 hours is going to put me in DC. I'm not dating somebody who's in DC. 4 hours is going to put me in Boston. I'm not dating someone who's in Boston. Okay. Thank you, K Brown. Point is, so I'll answer your question, but really more important than answering your question is to tell you that I wouldn't even pursue this because of the distance. And this is why you have the problem that you have. Met a guy online 3 weeks ago. We live 4 hours apart. How long does it take to go on a date? It's going to now take forever because y'all 4 hours apart. Avoid this by making it clear, if it were me, that I am not in a position to date someone long distance. It's not what I'm looking for right now in my life, but I wish you all the best moving forward. Because I don't have an answer. Maybe it's a month. Maybe it's 3 months. Like, I can't even answer that because it's long distance. It's inconvenient. It is expensive. It's awkward. Are we sleeping at your house? If I'm sleeping at your house, it's the expectation that I'm sleeping with you. Guess what? Avoid all that, please. Let us not even get involved in long distance relationships. Again, if I'm already dating someone, things are going well and an opportunity arises, then that's a different story. We could try to work it out. But I'm not starting long distance relationships. Okay? Where else can you meet men besides these dating sites? Where else can you meet men besides these dating sites? Okay, so what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to sign up to be a part of my VIP list, or, which is free, click the link in my bio, scroll all the way to the bottom, click VIP list, or you can download any one of my freebies, and I answer this question for every single person who does that. If you are a part of my VIP list, it's a free list, or you download any of my stuff, click the link in my bio, the free stuff, then I answer where you can meet men besides dating apps. So I'm going to need you to do a little bit of effort on your part, click the link, and then you'll get your answer, okay? But I do want to say, because I'm reading a little bit of shade in this in regards to besides dating sites, I'm telling you, the same men that you're meeting out socially, wherever that may be and wherever I would advise you to go. I also have a whole live on it, by the way, on my page. I have an orange dress. My face is beat to the gods. I look amazing. Okay, so you could scroll, go videos, look for orange and makeup, and I answer that question. But anywho, the same people who are on dating apps are the same ones that you're meeting at brunch, that you're meeting at a conference, that you're meeting at work, that you're meeting on the train, that you meet in Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble, black people, there's no S at the end of Barnes & Nobles, okay? Neither BBQs, side note. Any of those spaces, they're the same human being. So when you talk about besides dating sites, as if dating sites are the problem, the dating site might not be the problem. Your profile might be the problem. Your approach might be the problem. Which dating app you're on might be the problem, right? How engaged you are, what line of questioning that you have. And some of it is just you meet some weirdos. You're going to meet weirdos in reality too. You can meet a guy at a lounge and he's going to be a weirdo too. So this idea that only weirdos are on dating apps in 2022, almost 2023, is absolutely inaccurate. Maybe back in 99, like seriously, like baby, back in 99, where only the most pathetic of the pathetic were on dating apps, you'd be right. In this day and age, everyone's on apps. All types of people, good, bad, indifferent, broke, rich, not so, male, female, non-binary, everybody. Okay? So that's just a side note. But again, to answer your question, you can watch the live that I did, go back into my profile, go to videos, scroll, look for me in orange with makeup. I spent 30 minutes talking about it, or you could download anything that's the link in my bio that is free, and you will get that email. Okay? Excelente. How do I get over a 4-year relationship breakup? The guy says he can't give me what I want or I deserve. Okay, so it's all right, girl, about being late. We save the lives, you know that. And if it's real good, I email or text it out. Join the list. You get the stuff. How to get over a 4-year relationship breakup when the guy says he can't give me what I want or deserve. All right. So I'm going to break this down just a little bit. All right. The first thing that I want to say is, even though he's waited 4 years, presumably, I have an inclination that he's probably said or indicated this before, but let's assume, right? So in those 4 years, he's finally said, I can't give you what you want or you deserve. I would have preferred if he did it earlier, right? Again, he probably did, and we probably weren't listening, but I would have preferred if he did it earlier, okay? But I'm still appreciative that he is articulating that he cannot give you what you want or what you deserve. I'm going to tell you how I read that, and I could be absolutely wrong. I read this as You want commitment and I'm not giving it to you. I'm cheating on you. You want monogamy. I'm cheating on you. Like, that is how I am reading it. I can't give you what you want or you deserve means I want to mess with other people and you ain't down for that. So I'm outie, right? Now, again, even though he probably indicated this more than 4 years ago, but let's say he's just done it for the first time in this breakup for this, and after 4 years, it sucks, but at least he's giving you your walking papers, right? Like, at least you are free now. To answer the question of how you get over him, click the link in my bio. I have an hour and a half training that talks about how to get over an ex. And I have an ebook, Move On Sis, that talks about, and it says sis, but move on was taken. So move on, sis. It works for anybody. And talks about exactly what you need to do. I'm going to give you one of those nuggets because I want you to actually do the work of clicking the link and downloading something that is absolutely free for you. I'm going to give you one inclination, one of the 5 steps that I recommend, right? In order to get over someone, I'm going to need you to stop all communication whatsoever with this person and any of their affiliates. All communication whatsoever. Unless the two of you have a child, a human child, not a dog, either sell the dog or give it up, you'll be all right, right? Kidnap the dog, I don't know what to tell you. Unless you share a human child, I need you to cut all communication whatsoever. You are not going to text them. You're not going to respond to their text messages. As a matter of fact, you're going to block them so they can't even text you on everything, on iMessage, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on Facebook, Venmo, Cash App. Every opportunity where someone can send a message, you're going to block them, okay? You're going to mute them. You are not going to engage with them whatsoever, okay? You are also going to end all communications with anyone that is affiliated with this person. So you became best friends with his sister. Oh, sucks to be you. You better find a new best friend. You used to go out with his mom every weekend to get manicures. Oh, it sucks to be her. She needs to find somebody else. Go take the daughter. They could go get their manicure. I don't care what the circumstances are. You are not going to communicate with anyone. Oh, good. Actually, Alison, he blocked me as soon as he said it was over. Good. And you're going to maintain that because guess what? Many a times they come back. They come back a-crawling. And you are not going to allow this human being back into your life because they have explicitly told you to your face that they cannot deliver. Let me put this in perspective for you. You go on Amazon. You are looking to buy a printer, right? You want what printer do I have? HP Envy 6075. That's a printer I got. You want that printer. You go on Amazon, you search it. Amazon says, we have it in stock, but we can't ship it to you, right? You live in Canada, we don't ship to Canada, right? You live in Mexico, we don't ship to, we can't deliver for you. Are you going to then spend your money and try to buy it anyway? They can't deliver. You go to Uber Eats, you mad hungry. You go to Uber Eats. You looking up the restaurant. The restaurant says we open, but unfortunately it's past the hours and we can't deliver, right? If a restaurant can't deliver, you're not going to place the order. What are you going to do? You're going to look for something else. You might be disappointed. You might have really wanted McDonald's fries. You might have really wanted some chicken wings. You might have really wanted a roti. You can't get it. They don't deliver. Right? So I'm glad that he's blocked you. He has helped you. You're going to continue that process. You're going to block everybody that's related to this human being that you've ever had any association with. So sorry, those relationships are over, right? And you are not going to allow this person back into your life because they haven't wasted 4 years. You've learned a lesson. But if you allow them back in any additional time thereafter, you've received that message, you have now wasted your own time. It's not even him, it's you. This is a blessing. Take the blessing and run. Okay? Okay. How do you feel about men taking women to dinner and when told no about sex, they want their money back? All right. So, first of all, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. I don't believe in a lot of these social media like screenshots and videos. Many times I think they're skits. I'm not even confident that it's real, right? I've seen posts most recently about this whole thing about a guy taking a girl on a date. After the date, he propositions her for sex. Then she says no, and then he wants the money back, or he doesn't drive her home, or whatever. I'm not even confident those things are real, right? We gotta be mindful about just thinking Sometimes this stuff don't be real. Sometimes they are created in order to get clicks and likes and comments. They are created in order to further someone's agenda. Sometimes, we just, I just don't know how real they are and how frequently they happen. I'm thinking things happen, right? But I just don't know how frequently. But to answer your question, what do I feel about it? I feel like those men are terrible human beings. I mean, I think most people would agree that anyone who propositions someone for sex after a date, and when they tell them no, they then demand money or won't ride them, give them a ride home or whatever, they're terrible human beings. They're sick, they're pathetic, and that's why they're begging for sex after a date for someone, because they can't create solid relationships with human beings, right? Like, this is a given. Like, that's how I feel. They're disgusting. What I will say, and I always say this, just like back to the young lady who was in the relationship for the 4 years and it's over now, I'm thankful that he propositioned her, or these men are propositioning these women immediately and then asking for their money back, because they are revealing who they are early in the game. I would much rather that. I'd much rather be annoyed and offended by someone propositioning me for sex, me saying no, and then I'm asking for their money back for a date on the first date or quickly, than them pretending to be one person, and then when they get their way with me, it's a different story. So that's how I like to see things. I try to find the silver lining and stuff. Okay? Do you think more women are doing the actual work to heal versus most men? Do you think more women are doing the actual work to heal versus most men? All right. So you guys know that I'm very particular about, like, what I like to call gender wars, and I don't like to be divisive. I like to be fair. I'm not a therapist, right? I don't even know the statistics in therapy because I'm not a therapist. It's not my industry, relatively speaking. I would imagine that there are more women who are in therapy than men. I think that even somebody who's a part of the red pill community would agree with me that probably there are more women in therapy than men, right? So as a result, I think it would be fair to say that there are more women who are attempting to do the work by at least investing in themselves, investing the time, investing the money, and going to therapy. Whether or not they're following through, whether or not the therapy has been successful, every professional is not for everybody, I can't say. But I would imagine there are more women than men in therapy, which means that more women are making the attempt. Now, if more women are healed than men, I cannot say. And I don't want to jump to conclusions to further this man versus women thing when I want us to be cohesive. I want us to work together. Like, that's a part of the goal that I have for me and my clients, right? So I can't say that. But I think it's safe to say that there are more women than men who are in therapy, which means that at least they are investing the time, the effort, the energy to heal. Okay? I'll say that. When dating to get a masculine man, what do you need to do? When dating to get a masculine man, what do you need to do? The first thing is you need to define what masculinity looks like to you. Thank you, Ty baby. I'm birthday hair. When dating to get a masculine man, what do you need to do? You need to define what masculinity is, right? Your definition of what masculinity is and what it looks like may not be mine, may not be the next person. This goes back to what I talk about every single week in regards to your non-negotiables. So once you define what a masculine man looks like, what does that look like? I don't know what that looks like. What does masculinity mean to you? Once you've defined it, right, then you're going to have to be in a position to begin to look for those behaviors. And I talk about this at length in my free training, The Partner You Deserve. Click the link in the bio. It's the second button. Free training, hour and a half, right? How do you then, what questions do you ask? How do you assess? How do you pay attention to behaviors? How do you observe? All of that is very lengthy. Click the link in my bio, second button. But the first step before you even do all that is to define what masculinity looks like. What does that look like specifically for you? And then that way, once you have a clear vision as to what you're looking for, then you'll be able to find it. So what I always explain to everybody is that before we can go and look for anything, if I am looking for this Lysol can, right? Because I want to clean something up. I'm looking for the Lysol can. It's not here on the desk, right? It's not here. You didn't see it. I'm looking for, I need to know that it's tall. I need to know that it's circular. I need to know that it's blue and white. I need to know that it's going to say Lysol. If I am not clear about what this Lysol can looks like, I'm going to have a very hard time finding it. I'm going to find the Clorox wipes. I'm going to find the dish soap. I'm going to find the hand soap, right? I'm going to find the hand sanitizer, which is also here. I'm going to find some wipes, which is also over there, which I don't want to reach for because it's too far. You get my point, right? So I'm going to find products that are similar, but unless I have a clear vision as to exactly what I'm looking for, it's going to be more difficult for me to find it, okay? So someone's giving us a definition right here. She says, if it's a man who wants to be the head of the household, he's going to demonstrate that position he seeks early. Okay, so that's a part of that definition, right? Like a man who desires to be head of the household, if that's how you define it. So you're going to ask questions in alignment to that. You're going to see if this person desires to play that role in their household. So the first thing is define it. The second thing is click the link in my bio, go to the second button. Okay, then I'm going to give you all the tips on what specific questions to ask and what behaviors to pay attention to see if the person measures up to what you are looking for. I will say this. A masculine man many times is looking for a feminine woman, right? And again, depending on how you define that and depending on how he defines that. So just be mindful that we're asking for things that are in alignment with what we can deliver. Or in this case, what's complementary to what we're looking for. We got to be realistic and practical. Okay? Are we able to approach you and say hello if we ever see you in public? Of course. Let me tell you. I was like 14 when Eminem came out with this song, the I Am, Whatever You Say I Am, that song. And I remember thinking to myself how annoyed I was when he says, oh, you keep approaching me when I'm trying to feed my daughter. I keep thinking to myself, the reason why you can feed your daughter is because of your fans, right? Like, you guys are not my fans. I'm just giving an example. Point is that the reason why Eminem is who he is because he's Eminem. He's not just Marshall Mathers, right? If you see me in public, please come and please say hello. I would never, ever, 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 like, for lack of a better term, shit on anybody or not say hello back or not be warm or not be welcoming. Okay? Absolutely. Just make sure, y'all see I'm sensitive. If the baby's with me, don't kiss my baby. Don't touch my baby. That's a different story. But me, you better come say hi, stop playing. I've gotten so comfortable in my singleness that the thought of dating gives me anxiety. Tips? I've gotten so comfortable in my singleness that the thought of dating gives me anxiety. Tips? Okay, so anything that gives you anxiety, if there's anything that you are anxious about, you have to weigh the pros and the cons. If there's anything that you are unsure about, you have to weigh the pros and the cons. You have to decide for yourself what is more important to you. Is it more important that you remain single and you have that peace that comes along with singlehood? Or is it more important that you find the right partner? Once you've decided what your priority is, then you're going to do the work, or you should begin to do the work to reach that priority. And so that's going to force your anxiety to the back burner. Now, when you're using the word anxiety, people kind of use these things like willy-nilly, right? Like, oh, I'm feeling depressed. Like, you're not clinically depressed, right? So if you actually feel anxiousness, like we're talking about something that could be clinically defined, then you may want to consider going to therapy. There's no shame in therapy, y'all. Like, worst case scenario, you book one session with a therapist and you realize that you are trauma-free, your processes are 100% solid, like you just don't need any help with development. And won't that be a nice confidence booster? Or you realize that, oh, I have a lot of stuff that needs to be unpacked. I am so glad that I invested in myself. I'm going to continue to go to therapy. Or you'll say, I don't like this therapist. I'm not really feeling the approach. I don't feel like he or she understands me. Let me see somebody else. Let me tell y'all something. I had somebody who emailed me. She was telling me about her dating and relationship issues. And I picked up the fact that she might need therapy. Like, it's not me, right? Like, and I'm not here to take anybody's money if they're not ready, right? She wasn't ready emotionally. So I suggested therapy. She told me that she went to a therapist And she didn't like the therapist because, and she had a good reason, she didn't like the therapist because when they were on the session, she could see a reflection on the therapist's glasses that the therapist was scrolling on Instagram during their session while they were meeting. And it turned her off. I'm with you. That is disgustingly rude and unprofessional. However, you're never going to go to any therapist, the hundreds of thousands of therapists across the country. You're never going to go to a therapist or therapy again because one person was unprofessional and inappropriate. If you got your hair done professionally, and you were displeased with it, are you going to say, I am never getting my hair done ever again because one person didn't do my hair right? You went to a restaurant. I am sure you have gone to a restaurant before and you have had a meal that you were displeased with, right? Are you going to say, I'm never going to eat again? I'm never going to go out to a restaurant again because I've had one poor experience? That to me is ridiculous, right? And I told her so kindly, right? And I hope she don't hear me because, I don't want to be offended. But I'm trying to paint a picture for y'all. Go to therapy. One session might prove to you that you are ready to go. One session might prove that you need to slow down and reevaluate. Whatever it is, invest in yourself. This is your life. Okay? All right. Good. Next one. I haven't talked to a guy for 3 weeks. It's me who starts the conversations. We have not spoken since Friday. Excuse me. He shows much engagement when we type and talk. What should I do? I have talked to a guy for 3 weeks. It's me who starts the conversations. We have not spoken since Friday, assumably because she didn't spark the conversation. He shows much engagement when we talk and type, but what should I do? All right, y'all. Now, the fact that he is engaging when you talk and type gives me the impression that he at least enjoys speaking to you. It might be enjoy speaking to you as a friend. It might be enjoy speaking to you romantically. But the fact that he is engaged once you guys are talking leads me to believe that he likes you at least as a human being and he enjoys your conversation, right? Because of that, I would not dismiss him immediately. Because of that, I would just ask, hey, we've been talking for 3 weeks. I really enjoy our conversations. We really are blending, but But I noticed that you don't ever really reach out. And make sure that's accurate. Like, he never reaches out. Is it never? Is it really never? Is it more than you would like? Like, I want you to scroll through. I want you to count how many times you started in the morning. I want you to count how many times you initiated. I want you to count how many times you call before you say you never. Because then now you are catastrophizing this, and now you seem dramatic, and you are, right? So make sure this is accurate. I would say, I enjoy our conversation, blah, blah, blah. But it seems like you never initiate. Is everything okay? Are you busy? Do you have time, right? I'm going to ask. I'm not jumping out the window immediately. We jump out the window and we dead things immediately. And it's sometimes without cause. Let the person know. Give them a heads up. This is what I've noticed. Is everything okay? Are you busy? Am I overwhelming you? Right? We're not going to do a blame game. Why you don't call me and why you don't text me? Right? Am I overwhelming you? Are you busy? Blah, blah, blah. Right? I would appreciate if you reached out a little bit more. This is me giving the person some kind of rope to potentially hang themselves with. Right? Now, he's going to say probably, no, you're not overwhelming me. No, I do enjoy our conversations. No, I apologize, right? And then after that conversation of you making it transparent of this is my concern and I would like to see changed behavior. If there is no changed behavior, now we're ending this. But we're not going to just jump out the window and dead things without at least asking one time and allowing people like, you know what? I didn't even realize. I'm so sorry. Or you know what, it's because you wake up before me is why you hit, I noticed that you've been hitting me up first. I apologize about that. I'll make an effort, right? Gives people some rope so that when they hang themselves, it's their business. But we're not going to just jump out the window. You have a nice conversation. Give him a chance. Now, after you've made it clear what you want, right? And he's not delivering, now you'll be fair to say, look, I told him what I was looking for and he's not delivering. Clearly, he's not interested. Clearly, I'm not a priority. Clearly, whatever. Then you can move on accordingly. All right? Excelente. If a man pays a mortgage and you pay all the utilities, would you be entitled to half? If a man pays the mortgage and you pay all the utilities, would you be entitled to half? All right, so first I'm assuming that you're married, that we're talking about entitlement and half of stuff, right? And then secondly, I'm not a divorce lawyer. I can't answer that question. I have no clue. I don't know what state you're in. And even if I didn't know what state you're in, I don't practice in any of those states because I'm not a lawyer. So I have absolutely no idea what a divorced person is eligible for. No clue. I'm so sorry. I can't answer that question for you. Okay? All right. Me and my man live together and he invites his friends to stay over for a year. Do you see an issue? Yes. Me and my man live together and he invites his friend. He invites his friend to stay over for a year. We live together. We are partners in this household. He invited his friend to come and live with us, right? Now, maybe I'm missing context, right? Because this is very limited. Perhaps he did ask her permission. So then y'all agreed, which means that you need to be telling. This is something that me and my friend talk about all the time. Like, if I get in an argument with someone, I say to them, like, I hope when you go retell this story, you retell the story accurately. Like, please make sure that you tell your best friend, your whoever, the whole thing. Because you're saying he invited the friend as if you had no say. That's important to know. But all right, I'm going to go with what you said. So he invites his friend to stay for a year. Did he invite his friend to stay for a year and it was a year from the get-go, or did it become a year over time? Like, was this person crashing for a week and now it's a year later and they're still crashing? Those are important details as well. Do I see an issue? Absolutely. If we live together, we need to decide who else here lives together, right? This is not something that one person on either side can just decide. We are partners in this household. And so there's not one person who can decide that, yes, one can live here and another one who can't live here. No, we're partners in this. I can't even buy a dog without talking to my husband about it, because the dog will be living with us, not with me, with us in our house, right? And so you're living with someone. One person does not have a right to decide who else can live there on their own, if that's the case, right? Based on the question and the way that you've worded it. Secondly, the person living here for a year. I got to tell you, and maybe I've watched too much movies and I grew up on soaps. All my children would like to live General Hospital in that order on Channel 7, okay? Is this his man? Like, why does he have another man living in the home for a year? This seems like a very inappropriate relationship. Your partner clearly does not know how to create boundaries. I'm being facetious, but doesn't know how to create boundaries. This is inappropriate. And this is absolutely an issue that you need to bring up ASAP. I'm going to tell you, depending on where y'all live, this person, this friend, might have rights to live in your property forever and ever. I don't even know, like squatters' rights. I don't know how that works. But you need to have a conversation with your man right now, today, to establish a boundary and a deadline for when the friend needs to go. This friend can no longer live in your home. It is absolutely inappropriate. Okay? I'm wondering if he's paying all bills and that's why he made the choice on his own. Maybe so, but still, I still don't think that that's an appropriate move to make. Even if we have one person who's the breadwinner and they're the one who pays all the bills in the home, I still don't think that gives them the right to decide who else can live in the home with them. I do understand, like, when we were children, our parents says, my roof is my rules, right? Which is one of the dangers, and y'all might not like this. This is one of the dangers of this traditional role, right? Relationship roles where one person's the breadwinner, they pay all the bills. Now the other person doesn't feel as though they have the right to say and speak up about things in that household, right? That's one of the dangers. We talk about we want a traditional partnership, we want this, but then sometimes those are some of the complications that come with it. Not that you can't work those complications out, but it's an automatic, like, do I have a say type thing. And sometimes it's some financial abuse. Nonetheless, put your foot down and please require that your partner does the same. Okay? I think I got all of it. Oh, and I got 12 minutes too. All right, this person asked a question. Can you explain the difference between dating multiple people and having a roster? There is no difference. I use the terms interchangeably. So I recommend that if you are a single person, that you should be actively dating more than one person at a time until you are in a committed relationship. That is my recommendation. Some people call it, I've heard it being called Olympic dating. I've heard it be called having a roster. It's like a terminology that I like to use. I like to use sports related stuff, like I watch sports. Whatever it is, you are dating, meaning that you're not exclusively seeing this one person. So if you're not exclusively seeing this one person, that means that you should be seeing other people so that you can assess who you think is the best fit for you. If they are in agreement, then you will be committed, and then you will no longer date the others. The others also should be dating other people. Now, the question that many times comes up is that, oh, should I tell him? Many times there's women asking this. Should I tell him that I'm seeing other people? My belief is that you should not lie. If someone asks you, are you seeing other people? Then you should say yes. If someone does not ask you, then I don't think that you should potentially be sharing information they didn't ask of you, right? That's going to be a little bit awkward. It's awkward regardless, but I'm not going to put myself in an additional awkward situation. Navadi says that sometimes roster implies sex. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. And that's not my intention at all. When I say a roster, I mean multi-dating. And it does not imply sex. Sex is up to the individual for how many people they want to do it with. The only thing that I ask as a human being is that you do it safely. Okay? So again, I don't have a difference between the terms. It just means dating multiple people at the same time. What is reasonable for you on your budget? Oh, sorry, not your budget. For men, it would be on their budget, unfortunately, or fortunately. It will be depending on your schedule. 2, 3. I don't think the average person can really manage more than 3, but that would be my recommendation. Okay? All right, this person asked 2 questions, so I'm going to choose one of them because we asked a question, and I'm going to see which one I want to answer. My boyfriend broke up with me because of my aggression. I've been working on it, but he doesn't see it. What to do? My boyfriend broke up with me because of my aggression. I've been working on it, but he doesn't see it. What to do? Okay, so the first thing is that I'm going to need you to work on your supposed aggression because you realize that this is problematic and not because your boyfriend or your ex-boyfriend said it was. And in order to win him back, you're going to work on this supposed aggression. You may have it. I'm not saying that you don't. I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm just saying I need you to consider changing your behavior for you and not changing your behavior because you think it's going to help you win your boyfriend back. Okay? Because you won't be able to, many times, you won't be able to sustain the change if you are not changing for yourself. If you are changing for others, you will more likely not be able to sustain the change, meaning that you'll stop for a couple of weeks, you'll stop for a couple of months, and you're going to start right back because you're not changing for you, you're changing for somebody else. Okay? So please, let's make sure that you recognize and agree that there are levels of aggression, that you're over the top in that area, and that you want to change for yourself. That's number one, because it will not work for long. More likely than not, I shouldn't speak in absolutes. It will not work for long if you are changing just to get this guy back. It's not a real change. You don't really agree that it's an issue. That means you're really not putting in the work to make that change. Okay? Secondly, you've been working on it. I'm not even confident how successful you've been when you say I've been working on it, right? Like, I've been working on my diet. I drank some more water than I normally do. Is that groundbreaking? Is that like going to change everything? Not necessarily, not one day's worth. So yeah, he may need some more time to see it. And he's not wrong if, again, you agree that you are aggressive. You agree that you need to change the behavior. If you've been working on it for a couple of days or weeks and you think that, oh, he's supposed to just magically see it and appreciate it and jump on it and get back with you, it doesn't work like that. Right? He may have been hurt. He may have been scarred. He might have been traumatized. He might have been embarrassed based on this aggressive behavior. And so for you to have an expectation that he needs to change and get back with you or forgive you because you've changed your behavior in the last couple of weeks is impractical. If he decides to get back with you, which you might change your aggression and become the sweetest, nicest, most loving, affectionate woman of all time, and he still might not get back with you because he doesn't care about how you present now. He cared about how you presented then, and you hurt him then. You can't even blame him for that. It is what it is. You're going to move on accordingly. But he is not obligated to forgive you in your time frame. He's not obligated to see your change in your time frame. He's not obligated to move forward with you because it's been a couple of weeks and look at how many times. So now he should just forgive. He's not obligated. He's obligated to forgive when he's ready. He's obligated to move forward when he's ready. And that may never happen. And I might tell you this too, which may or may not be true. He could be full of shit. And in reality, that's not the reason why he broke up. And he broke up with you because he just was over it and he wanted to see somebody else. People say and give excuses for their breakups all the time that's not necessarily accurate. Just so you know. So I also don't want you to put too much blame on yourself. If you see it's an area that needs improvement and you want to change it, then I want you to change it. Do not change it for him because as you already see, you claim you've been working on it. He says he doesn't see it. He may never forgive you. That might not even be the real reason. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay? All right, beautiful people, we are going to wrap it up right here. I appreciate everybody who has joined the live. If you want your questions answered, all you have to do is one of two things. Become a subscriber. It costs $4.99 a month to subscribe to exclusive content. I answer all your questions first, most thoroughly. You get all kinds of cool stuff for absolutely $4.99, right? That's one way, and that's how subscribers always get stuff first. The second way is to join the VIP list. That's free. Click the link in my bio, scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll click on VIP list. I'm going to send you a text every Wednesday that says, hey, I'm about to do the live. Click here to put your question in. After that, I can't guarantee. Thank you, Fina Amber. This is my birthday here. Appreciate you. All right, lovely people. I need to attend to my husband and my baby and my family and my household. So this live will be saved. If you enjoyed it, check it out. If you joined late, check it out. If you have a friend who you think is going to appreciate it, share with them and check it out. Have a wonderful evening.